All right, moving on now. It's a happy moment for the Indian Air Force because an indigenously developed light combat aircraft, Tejas, has formally been inducted into the fleet. The first batch of the LCA, that is the light combat aircraft Tejas, will be inducted today in Bengaluru. The LCA Tejas is a fighter jet indigenously crafted and manufactured in India. And after the commissioning of the squadron, the Tejas will join the likes of Sukhoi 30 MKI, Jaguar, Mirage 2000 and others in the skies. Now we'll be witnessing the commissioning of two aircraft today. There's a ceremony that is going on at this moment. Now, this is not the usual protocol when a jet is inducted. 16 to 17 jets are commissioned at one go. But Tejas' manufacturing has been fraught with so many delays that it has been decided to go ahead with this induction. Now the Tejas weighs about 6,560 kilograms and is 13 meters long, allowing it to fly up to heights of 50,000 feet. And the maximum speed can exceed the speed of sound. It can also travel over 400 kilometers without refueling. As for the equipment, the Tejas is loaded with a modern Israeli multi-mode radar, the Elta 2032, Derby air-to-air missiles, and a laser designator, among others.
What does it mean for the DRDO and most importantly for the country?
It is a proud moment for us and particularly DRDO, and I'm sure it is extremely proud moment including for the country because not many countries are producing the fighter aircrafts, and then India has taken its own time, but if you carefully look at the other even well-developed countries, they have also taken sufficient time. When you start a product of this nature, there is a lot of new things, a lot of unthought issues. When it comes up, we need to resolve and go, because we cannot ask a man to fly without safety being checked. That's the way it is. It is a proud moment for us.
Sir, there is also a lot of talk about the export potential of Tejas. We'd seen when it went to Bahrain, it had attracted immense interest even from people abroad. How are we progressing on those lines? Do we have a clearance to export? Is there interest that you've encountered on this product?
Particularly with the present Honorable RM, we have no issues about export, and none other than Air Force who are the users. They are also on board with us, and so they have cleared in terms of exporting it. The question comes as number. When I have not sufficiently met the need within the country, then I cannot talk of giving my own product to elsewhere. The production is not entirely in my hand.
Let's quickly go across now to Rohini Swami, who joins us from the place where this induction is formally taking place. It's a ceremony that is presently going on. Rohini, where exactly is this happening at this moment? And also, what is I believe that there is a tradition of giving it some name. So this is an LCA Tejas. I think there is a name for this event.
Yes, this is Tejas Induction. Now in India we all wish luck, and this is how religious leaders from every religion are here as part of the prayer meeting. This is the entire puja that is taking place before the LCA induction takes place. This is formally they're handing it over to the 41 Squadron, and while we're seeing our made in India fighter jet going to take up, because we've seen the trial run 1.5 months ago, where the Chief of Air Staff did flew the LCA as a test ride, but after this formally included in the Indian Air Force. And this is definitely, Sanket, a shot in the arm for the Indian Air Force. It's a huge, proud moment for the country, because when we're seeing our own fighter jet right in front of our eyes taking off, and also being a part of the squadron induction into the Indian Air Force. But it was also, we need to say that this turns out to be quite a low-key affair. With definitely, usually with such induction programs, we would see the presence of the Defense Raksha Mantri or the Defense Minister, as well as senior officials of the Air Force. But this is rather low-key affair to see here at this point of time.
Rohini, do stay on with us. Let's quickly go across now to Executive Editor Gaurav Sawant, who now joins us. Gaurav, where exactly is this happening, this induction in Bangalore? And also explain to us the significance of this induction. How does this make our fleet even more powerful and mighty?
Sanket, 3 decades, 30 years in the making, and now Tejas, the light combat aircraft. This is India's indigenous production. This is taking to the skies for induction into the Indian Air Force. It's been a very long journey. It's been a very turbulent journey. But now this is one of the final stages of that journey where this platform, it's a light combat aircraft as the name suggests, which means this is the replacement of the MiG-21 fighters. Now you and I have reported for almost 2 decades that MiG-21 gets another life extension, MiG-21 gets another life extension. While MiG-21 have been outstanding aircraft, they have served the Indian Air Force with great credit. Unfortunately, they've outlived their technical life, and in many cases their other aviation life. But it was given another extension because the Tejas was taking a long time coming. When India did its Pokhran tests in 1998, America denied India technology, and the GE 404 engines that's on board this aircraft, that wouldn't come. So this aircraft has taken a series of setbacks, but now it's finally here. Sanket.
That's right, Gaurav. Do stay on with us. Going back to Rohini once again. Rohini, the fact that this Tejas weighs 6,560, is 13 meters long, flies up to 50,000 feet. How capable a fighter jet is this compared to others that we have, like the Sukhoi and the Jaguar and the Mirage? Rohini, can you hear me? Okay, let me put that one across to Gaurav. Gaurav, compared to the fleet that we already have of Sukhoi, Jaguar and Mirage, how more capable is this aircraft?
So these are different kinds of aircraft for different use. For example, this is a light combat aircraft. This would be a replacement for the MiG-21 fleet. The Sukhois, on the other hand, is just the other end. It's like comparing a Maruti and a Jaguar or a BMW. The Sukhoi 30 carries 10 tons of weapons. The Sukhoi 30 is the most potent weapon platform that the Indian Air Force has acquired so far. The Mirages, on the other hand, are a multi-role aircraft. The Jaguars are deep penetration strike aircraft to deliver nuclear cargo. In hostile territory, deliver it and come back. All these aircraft have different, uses in the Indian Air Force. This will be the backbone of the Indian Air Force. The Indian Air Force aspires to be a 45 squadron Air Force, which means they want about 1,000 aircraft at one point of time. Their sanctioned strength is about 40 squadrons, 39 and a half to be precise. So that would make it about 770 or roughly 800 aircraft. The Indian Air Force at point of time, Sanket, was down to 700 aircraft. This will shore up the numbers. This is an extremely potent weapon platform, but as the name suggests, it's a light combat aircraft. It's made of composite material. The engine, of course, is American. The composites are Indian, Italian. It's labor of love for 3 decades. It's received a series of setbacks in its production, but now it's finally here. Why is it a low-key affair? Because this is just the starting of a long induction process, under which there will again be a series of changes that will happen as this aircraft, as of now, touches the sky with glory, Sanket.
Absolutely. Gaurav, do stay on with us. We've got Shiv Arur also joining us. Morning, Shiv. It's taken 3 decades, 30 years for research to take place on India to be able to develop this particular piece of technology, which will be inducted. It may be very capable, it has been tested, it's being formally inducted, but while we are celebrating and we are happy about this induction, should this also not be a cause of concern that it has taken 30 years?
Morning, Sanket. You're absolutely right. I think there are very, very legitimate questions, and reservations that, many will continue to justifiably have about the LCA Tejas and the fact that it's taken so long. But one of the points that Gaurav mentioned is very, very pertinent at this point, Sanket, which is that the Tejas, despite taking 30 years and having many foreign components in it, has been, has been an aircraft that has faced an unusual number of problems through its 30-year, development cycle. This has included, very crippling sanctions, technology denial sanctions from the United States at a very crucial time during its development process. This was in '98, just after India conducted its nuclear test. And the United States was a very crucial partner in the actual technology program. And when sanctions were imposed, it very nearly grounded the program entirely. And it took a monumental effort by the team and scientists to actually come together and say, we will continue with the project and we will build it, ourselves and develop it ourselves, and that will make it an even more Indian affair. And that is one of the reasons why, Sanket, you're very well versed with technology. The flight control computer and the fly-by-wire system, these are two very, very important components of a fighter aircraft. They are basically the heart and soul of the aircraft, the brain of the aircraft, which processes all the data from the sensors and provides the pilot with, the information he or she needs to actually, do the fighting and not really much of the flying, and gives the aircraft the intelligence that it requires in the battlefield. Those happen to be completely Indian. They could have been American. India could have paid a lot more money for it, but now because of those technology denials, they happen to be totally Indian. So while you're right, all of the questions about delays, time overruns, cost overruns are very, very legitimate.
Right.
There is a great deal of justification that this is an aircraft that is much more Indian because of that.
Absolutely. Shiv, do stay on with us. We also have Air Chief Marshal Kapil Kak with us. Sir, your views and your thoughts on this induction at this moment, because there are those who are slightly cynical that this should have come in a little early. There are those who feel that it's a proud moment for us for the fact that we have been able to induct something which is made in India. Where do you stand as far as this induction?
No, a mix of both. Cynicism because it's taken so long. It's been 33 years in coming. But it's also a very positive indication that when India has its back to the wall, the program came under the American sanctions because of the 1998 Pokhran. The technology curve our people can ride is somewhat shallow because the capability doesn't exist. We have shut down the Design Development Bureau with the HF-24 sometime in 1960s or so. So in a sense, this is a historic occasion because once again India is at the threshold of becoming a leading power in the world, perhaps a handful of nations which make its own state-of-the-art combat aircraft. So that's the positive part, no doubt about it. It must be pushed. Prime Minister Modi and Manohar Parrikar have to now make this a true reality. Now let's get the other reality check. Let me mention that these will not be operated and deployed in the critical battle spaces of the Indian Air Force in the western, northern and the eastern sector for at least 15 years. So we are looking at effective induction of the Tejas battle-worthy aircraft sometimes in 2032 when the Indian Air Force will be 100 years old. So this is not a program in which the chief can be jubilant because his depleting fleet from 40 squadrons to 33 squadrons will suddenly get Tejas squadrons. Those guys are not coming.
Okay.
That's why the aircraft have been handed over, just two. I mean, this is the sad part. You get two aircraft when the Air Force has ordered 40 of them.
Absolutely.
20 in 2007, 20 in 2010. And you get two aircraft.
Let's hope, Air Chief Marshal, let's hope that this is a good, positive beginning. Because as you said, there is a mixed feeling that there is a little bit of cynicism, yet optimism. Let's hope that the cynicism fades away into optimism, and as Gaurav said, and as the motto of the Indian Air Force is, these Tejas LCA aircraft is able to touch the sky with glory.